What's up, guys? It's your boy TPP, and I'm back with that True Crime Talk Live, baby. Let's go. What's up, guys? Happy freaking Monday. Happy Manic Monday, baby. It's already been crazy. Hopefully, it's going good for y'all, though. But before we jump into it, y'all know what's up. Do me a huge favor. Smash that like. Smash that share, especially if you're here live right now. Smash that share so people know we're here, and they can join this conversation because we got some crazy news coming out of the Stephen Smith case. It's crazy. I wanted to jump on yesterday and tell you guys about it, but had family showing up, football games happening, this, that, and the third. So you know what I mean. We're here now, though. We're here now. Let me see though. Let me see who's all here in chat so far. Miss Sassy, good to see you. Steph V, good to see you. All right. Man, people must be busy on this Monday, huh? Must be busy this early. But yeah, guys, we got some stuff popping off in the Stephen Smith case. Holy crap, guys. I mean, this is big. This is really big. I don't know if you guys know, but it's looking like Buster didn't have anything to do with this. You heard me. Old Bus didn't have anything to do with it. I'm still tripping. I am still tripping. Now, there's a lot of stuff, man. There's a lot of stuff that has to come out. Yes, Miss Sassy. Yes, what indeed, Miss Sassy. What indeed. There's still a lot of stuff that's got to come out, to like explain some stuff, especially like how after Alec was getting investigated for, the double unaliving, how it kicked the Stephen Smith case back up, right? So we all assumed there had to be a connection, right? And then everybody thought for sure it was old Bus, but it's not. It's looking like it wasn't Buster. So I have a couple articles from Fitz News because they've been on top of this. I have to give them their dues. They're a great resource for this case. And then shout out, because a subscriber put me onto this information before I could even find it, yesterday. So that being said, much love to y'all for sending me the good info and putting your boy up on it when I haven't found it yet. I appreciate it big time. Hindsight's good to see you. I know, guys, this is crazy. I'm telling you. I wish more people were in here right now because I didn't see nobody talking about this over the weekend. Everybody was talking about, the other cases and stuff. And if they weren't talking about the other cases we already talked about ad nauseum, they were talking about what's going on overseas. Now, before we jump into anything, though, I would like to say I won't get political with y'all. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to get religious, but I'm going to say there's innocent people on both sides over there dying. So throw some love, some prayers out to those people. You know what I mean? Like it's no good. It's no good. But that's as far as I'll go into that conversation with y'all. We ain't here for all that today. We're here for Stephen Smith today because let me tell you, bro, Steph V. I'm telling you, wow, indeed. I thought Buster did this or had some ties to it or knew about it, or maybe Paul did it because Buster was tied up in it. You know what I mean? With all the allegations of, that funny business. But yeah, man, when I saw this yesterday, when I got it sent to me, emailed to me, and then I started digging, I was like, what the heck? So since I got the original email, we've had 2 articles come up. So I got 2 articles we're going to listen to. I said listen to. I don't have to read it. They're put to audio so we can listen to the articles. So we're going to listen to those 2 articles, and then we're going to listen to a video by Fitz News on kind of like the breakdown of what's going on with this. So I got everything queued up for us. Let me go ahead and get stuff popped up. Mary Jane Doe, good to see you. Criminal Med, good to see you. Criminal Med, I contacted Mandy for that info I needed. She is right by me. Okay. Hopefully that clicks in my brain what you're talking about. Has anybody heard from Bees? I have not heard from Bees, and I didn't see her all weekend in any chats, so I'm not sure. I'm praying for her, though. Hopefully everything's going good. Yes, thank you, Steffi. Prayers, love, peace. I know, look, dude, I know the whole idea of world peace is idealistic, that in this world there's always going to be good and evil, so we're never going to really have peace. But we can pray for it, right? We can pray for it. Let me see what else is in here. Kathy Blanks, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Donna Clark, good to see you, man. Oh my lord. Okay. So you got this verified, Sass? I mean, Criminal Med. You got all this verified that this is legitimate information we're about to cover? Because that would suck to cover it and then it'd not be legit. But it sounded like it's pretty. Okay. So, all right. Let's roll with it, though, guys. Let's roll with it. I'm going to go ahead and queue up this first article. And like I said, it's dope. I don't even have to read it. Yeah, it's an audio article. So, you know what I mean? I don't have to put y'all to sleep. All right. So, Criminal Med saying this info is legit by her. She did some background, she did some digging for us, got some stuff vetted. So, if this comes down to this information's false, blame it on Criminal Med, not me. And then she could blame it on Fitz News, not her. I'm just playing, guys. I'm just playing. All right. You guys know what's up. Let me get this article playing, and then let me know in chat if y'all can hear me. Okay, give me some twos in chat if you can hear me, or if you can hear this.
Words matter. Classifications matter. In reporting on criminal investigations, they really matter, especially as it relates to the leveling of serious allegations against individuals.
All right, I'm seeing the twos, ladies. Steffi, thank you. Mary J. Doe, thank you. Right on. Sassy, thank you. We'll keep rolling with it. We got 2 articles to get through, and then a video, and then we're gonna this live won't be no 4 hours. It'll probably be like however long it takes us to cover this stuff. I'm gonna jump off. Your boy got to get a quick shower because I just got off of work, and then I'm gonna come back on because I want to cover what's going on with the Maya trial. She got on the stand today. We're gonna listen to that together, and yeah. But that's round 2. I'm gonna come back later. We're gonna fit that in before Turtle Island tonight. But before we get in the article, let me go ahead and get into it. Right? Yesterday, Turtle Island got canceled. It's supposed to be tonight. I haven't posted anything about it because I don't even know if it'll be tonight. You know what I mean? I got to play it by ear at this point. So I know most of y'all you guys are looking out for it to happen tonight. So praying, hoping that we can make it happen tonight, guys. And I can get up on that Turtle Island and we can we can go for that belt. We get that belt, baby. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump in. Yes, Criminal Med. We'll definitely get into this. We're gonna get into these questions for sure as we get into this information. Polly Waffle, good to see you this morning. Good to see you. All right, guys, let's roll into it.
Entitled to a presumption of innocence. At this media outlet, we choose our words very carefully. For example, on June 9, 2021, less than 48 hours after the graphic double homicide at the heart of the Murdaugh murders crime and corruption saga, I reported Alex Murdaugh was a person of interest in connection with the murder investigation into the deaths of his wife and younger son. I took a lot of heat for that article, which was published at a point in time when Murdaugh was still viewed by many, if not most, as a grieving husband and father. Today, Murdaugh is viewed quite differently. Today, he is considered a textbook family annihilator. The disgraced former attorney was convicted on March 2, 2023 of murdering his wife, 52-year-old Maggie Murdaugh, and younger son, 22-year-old Paul Murdaugh, on the family's former hunting property, known locally as Moselle. The following day, March 3, 2023, Murdaugh was sentenced to consecutive life terms for those crimes by Circuit Court Judge Clifton Newman. Based on recent jury tampering allegations, Murdaugh may wind up getting a new trial or he may not, but there has been very little doubt from the very beginning about his underlying guilt. In the case of Stephen Smith, though, there has been nothing but doubt, especially as it relates to whether his unsolved murder had a connection to the now infamous local.
Oh, Miss Julie Dell, good to see you, Mom. Good to see you.
Country family, whose legal dynasty ruled a 5-county region of the Palmetto State like a fiefdom for more than a century. To recap, Smith's body was discovered by a passing motorist, a tow truck driver, at approximately 4 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time on July 8, 2015 in the middle of Sandy Run Road near Crocketville. SC visible on Smith's head was a significant laceration, 7.25 inches in length.
And be paying attention to all this information, guys, like the descriptions, everything, because as we get farther into all this new information that's coming out, especially the video at the end, oh my Lord, man, I still can't believe what I'm hearing. That we were all wrong. I got to walk back what I said on a bunch of stuff, believing that it was old Bus. I still don't like Bus. I still think he's a Murdoch. I still think he lies through his neck, but maybe he just wasn't lying about this. I don't know.
Which extended across the superior mid to right lateral forehead, involving the right eyebrow, according to the initial autopsy. Thought to be a gunshot wound, and later the result of a vehicular hit and run, the subsequent investigation failed to reach a specific conclusion, fueling a barrage of wild tales. The investigation stalled for years over inconsistencies as to whether Smith was killed by a hit and run or by other more nefarious means. One theory suggested he was struck with a baseball bat from the back of a moving truck. Smith's case attracted international attention after it was prominently featured in the hit Netflix documentary, Murdaugh Murders, A Southern Scandal. At the conclusion of the Murdaugh trial, agents of the SC State Law Enforcement Division, SLED, began focusing on the Smith case in earnest. As that investigation ramped up, our news outlet filed a lengthy series of detailed reports refocusing on the case and providing relevant documents related to it. Stephen Smith Case Files. File 1, Sandy Smith's letter implicating Buster Murdaugh. File 2, the first autopsy. File 3, the Highway Patrol report. File 4, the initial interviews. File 5, exhumation, persons of interest update. File 6, the private eye. Our goal in releasing these case files? To look at everything from a clear, unbiased perspective, and more importantly, to put all of the materials we were using in front of our audience so they could see everything that we were seeing. Meanwhile, Smith's body was exhumed in April from its resting place at Gooding Cemetery in Crocketville, SC, and a second autopsy was performed on it in search of new evidence. According to our sources, the second autopsy has confirmed many of the same injuries described in the first autopsy, including the massive gash on Smith's head, the damage to the back of his skull, and the presence of road rash on his arms. This news outlet has not been provided with a copy of the second autopsy, nor has it been released by Smith's family. However, according to our sources, it confirmed previous assessments of Smith's injuries and has led those reviewing the materials to reach several definitive conclusions. Among them, on the night he died, Smith was struck by a fast-moving object on the front right side of his head at an angle, a devastating blow, which caused an almost instantaneous subsequent impact of the back of his head on the roadway. Either impact would have been fatal. Both impacts together in the span of less than a second were catastrophic. Smith was walking northwest toward his home at the moment of impact. The object that struck him was moving southeast, rapidly, in the opposite direction on Sandy Run Road. Smith died where he fell. Immediately. He was not murdered at another location and transported to the crime scene. As noted, some road rash was visible as...
I'm telling you, all this information, so much of this information totally just screws my whole theory up. Like, I don't even know what to think now, guys. Like, I got so many questions after all this. So many dang questions.
His body briefly slid approximately 1 to 2 meters across the pavement in the middle of Sandy Run Road following the impact. What struck Smith? The crime scene remains a study in contradiction.
Yeah, Miss Sassy, you ain't the only one. That's why I was excited to come bring this live. I wanted to get this in today. I really, like I said, I wanted to get it in yesterday, but it just didn't work out. But man, I've been perplexed ever since I started hearing all this information. I'm like, what the hell? We were all wrong. Everybody was wrong. Yo, we all, man, I hate to say it, guys, but a lot of us hold Bus an apology, I guess. Damn, bro. My bad, son. My bad. You know, I was just speculating, though.
The location of Smith's body in the middle of the road was totally inconsistent with a vehicular strike, but the massive blood loss observed on the asphalt was totally inconsistent with him being murdered at another location. Also, all of the blood visible in the crime scene photos is flowing in one direction, toward the ground. But how could a vehicle have killed Smith? There were no skid marks. No vehicle debris. No physical evidence of any kind indicating a vehicular strike. And again, the location of Smith's body in the roadway and the lack of other injuries consistent with a vehicle strike made zero sense. Investigators on the scene of Stephen Smith's murder on July 8, 2015. SCHP, in the aftermath of the latest autopsy and subsequent forensic analyses, experts are reportedly coalescing around the original theory of the case. That theory? That Smith's head was struck by a large, extended side mirror of a pickup truck. As we previously reported, on December 21, 2015, SCHP Corporal Michael Duncan conducted an interview with Nick Ginn, who at the time was an officer with the Hampton, South Carolina Police Department. Ginn has since been elected.
Real quick, can I get a little, give me some ones in chat. Do you guys like polls? Do you guys like when creators throw down those polls like that? Because I know I'll always be asking like, oh, one in chat, two in chat, this or that. But if you guys like the polls better than me, asking you questions, go ahead and give me some ones. Give me some ones in chat if y'all like the polls, because I'll start doing more of those like that. I like that format better. It allows everybody to vote, because some people want to vote, but they don't want to, get into chat and vote. They want to be anonymous about it. So, all right, cool. Looks like y'all appreciate the polls. So I'll start doing more of the polls, guys. I just figured out how to do the pop out chat. Bees! Oh my lord, it's Bees. We missed you, Bees. I hope everything's going good, Bees. Oh my lord. Your ears must have been ringing, or whatever they do whenever people are talking about you. It was just talking about you. All right. So yeah, I'll start doing more polls, guys. Criminal Med says this was actually a known thing, but then everybody went towards the Murdaws and then it went cold. No one cleared and remembered it reopened with Pulse unaliving. Shoo! Criminal Med, you probably are one of the ones that are the deepest into this thing that I know of, that I've met. I still wish that you didn't have to postpone your trip down there. I was really looking forward to like some on the scene stuff that we could show everybody. Kathy says, yes, just when you are ready, I'm preparing it now. Okay. Let me see what else y'all are saying. All right. Looks like I'm caught up. But yes, Bees, we missed you. Chat's just not the same without you here. There's a couple people that if y'all are missing, it's like we notice. We notice you ain't here. But let's continue with this article. We got one more after this, and then a video clip, and then, like I said, all your boys are gonna come back, and we're gonna get into some more. We're gonna get into the Maya trial. I want to go over that testimony today, and then I don't know. We'll see what else we can get into. You know how we do. We get sidetracked. We talk about whatever.
To Varnville Town Council. According to Jin, he received a phone call in early December 2015 from an individual named Daryl Williams.
Wait. You're still going? I am here. You are there? So by I am here, that means you were there? You were staying near Sandy Smith? Well, what the heck, Criminal Man? Get us inside, man. See if I can get a little interview with her. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. No pressure, nothing. No pressure. Pictures, interview, something. Just anything. Kathy Blanks. All right. Bougie Redneck, good to see you, man. Oh, guys, there's only 14 of you all in here, so the 14 that get to hear this and whoever actually catches this on replay, dude, I got some crazy news. I got some crazy news. So Saturday night after we got off the live, right? I had to do a little powwow with the producer man, and the producer man introduced me to somebody that's gonna be the way it's working out right now, we have a 98% chance that we're going to have our own channel resident attorney. My bad. Sorry, bro. If you're looking, my bad, bro. Attorney. So if everything works out, after that meeting I had Saturday night, we're going to have an attorney that's going to be able to come up on panel with me and chop up some of these cases and give his opinions on everything. So not only will you guys be hearing my opinions, my breakdowns on it all, we're going to have a professional come in and give a legal standpoint breakdown on it all. So I'm super stoked about that. And like I said, I'm still working on the interview too with what was the case? Dang, why can't I think of the case? Matt Odom case, right? I'm still trying to work on the interview with his brother. But yeah, guys, I'm super excited about that. Throw some prayers up that we can make that work, that me and the individual can make that work. But it sounds like we're going to be able to make that work out. It's going to be super dope to be able to have an attorney come up, a resident attorney come up on the channel and chop it up on each one of these cases and stuff as we're going through it. Super stoked about that. Super stoked. And I will let you guys know the lives that you will be attending. We'll have it in the thumbnail the whole night. Super jacked about that. But our boy Rooster hooked that one up for us. So let me see what else y'all are saying in chat. Let me make sure I'm catching it all. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right? Awesome news, right, Kathy? Awesome news. So yeah, guys, like the big professional channels do, how they have, professionals come on and give their opinions and all that stuff. We're taking it there. We're taking it to that professional level, baby. I'm super excited about it. So freaking excited about it. Haha. You want to know what type of lawyer? It's a secret. I'm not giving his name up yet, guys. And I know it matters. I know what type of lawyer matters given their angle of looking at stuff, right? But he's very unbiased. He will give us a legal opinion from both angles. So that being said, yeah, I don't think it's really going to matter prosecution or defense type, or you guys get what I'm saying. But this dude knows his stuff. All right, guys. All right, let's get back into the information, though.
Indicating Smith was struck by a vehicle, specifically, one of the side mirrors of a truck belonging to 26-year-old Sean Connolly, of Brunson, South Carolina. Connolly was reportedly accompanied at the time of this incident by 26-year-old Patrick Austin Wilson, also of Brunson, South Carolina. Wilson was 18 years old at the time of Smith's death. Connolly was 17. Basically, Daryl called me and he said, look, he said this is what I was told. He said Patrick came over here to the house. He told me that Sean Connolly was drunk and hit something, Jen said. He said he went back the next day to see what he had hit and he saw a lot of police out there. So he talked to one of the cops, and then he had left, and then he learned, I guess by media, that somebody had been killed in that same area. That's why the police were there. According to Jen, Williams told him Sean called Wilson, crying, saying that that's what had happened. Wilson was reportedly so distraught after retelling.
Criminal Med, he's not really. He's more of like a mentor. I just joke around. I call him the producer, right? Because he kind of, I don't want to give his business up. But anyways, we'll just say he's really good at working with talent. We'll just say that. And no, he's not my producer per se, but definitely my mentor. And I know the dude knows entertainment. That's all I got to say. And he's connected. And yeah, he set that up for us. I'm super jacked about it. Super, super jacked. Yeah, you guys will see. And the individual, the attorney we'll be having on, this guy, super cool guy, great personality. I think you guys are going to love it. I'm telling you, I was on the phone after Saturday's live. I was on the phone for, I think, 2.5, 3 hours with our boy. So, yeah, a lot of stuff was talked about.
The story, he became nauseated. Patrick was crying telling him, and after he got finished telling the story, he walked outside his house and threw up, Jen said, referring to his conversation with Williams. This response convinced Williams that Wilson was telling the truth, according to Jen. https://www.youtube.com/watch?the=ZEVTWAOSKFQ. FITS News/YouTube. Jen also told Duncan he believed Connolly had repaired damage to the mirror of his truck in the aftermath of Smith's death.
You know what? Let's just keep listening. I got another poll for y'all.
Supposedly, he had fixed his mirror. He had patched one of the mirrors up on the truck, Jen told Duncan. This news outlet has since confirmed the truck mirror theory of Smith's.
Actually, before I drop this poll out that we're doing right now, so it looks like, as of right now, will there be an arrest in the Stephen Smith murder? 62% of you say yes. 38% of you say no. So that's where that poll is before I drop that out, because I got another one to ask y'all. Let's keep going.
Death is at the heart of evidence presented to a statewide grand jury currently investigating the case, although our sources decline to elaborate on the nature of that evidence. Readers will recall Mark Bickhardt, who claimed to have been Smith's boyfriend at the time of his death, said Smith referenced a pair of rednecks in a pickup truck who allegedly harassed him at Snyder's Crossroads on Highway 63 between Walterboro and Barnville, South Carolina on the night he was murdered. According to Bickhardt, Smith claimed the two individuals who harassed him were riding in a big truck with mud tires. The last time we talked that night, before the phone went down, and I said to him, "Are you walking or not?" I know at one point I heard big mud tires, Bickhardt said. Big mud tires. They like coming toward him or going past because they sounded loud, and they were getting louder. And that, I believe, was the last time I talked to him. Attorney Eric Bland, who represents Stephen Smith's mother, Sandy Smith, announced in June that a statewide grand jury was considering evidence in this case. Bland predicted there would be answers to some long-standing questions about Smith's death before Labor Day. This news outlet independently confirmed the grand jury investigation, but as I noted last month, Labor Day came and went without a resolution. I thought there was going to be something by Labor Day, but it appears obviously not, Bland acknowledged on a recent episode of a podcast called Surviving the Survivor. So, Sandy is getting a little discouraged. Could that be changing soon, though? Plaque outside the office of the clerk of the SC statewide grand jury. FITS News, according to sources familiar with the status of the ongoing investigation, the grand jury is continuing to zero in on Connolly and Wilson as primary suspects in Smith's death. Please take note of the difference in those words, primary suspects, not persons of interest. Our media outlet previously referred to these two individuals as top suspects, however, there had been speculation as to whether others were involved. Bland has suggested SLED was zeroing in on as many as 5 potential suspects, however, our sources have not confirmed that information. The two have been in the crosshairs of this inquiry for some time now. Wilson was first named in a SC Highway Patrol, SCHP, Multidisciplinary Accident Investigation Team, MAIT, report on Smith's death released 2015. Our media outlet exclusively published that document.
Yeah, no, that's the thing too. Criminal Med, while I was sitting there going through these articles, and I'm dumb, okay? Yes, I'm dumb. I got these articles right, and I didn't even realize that there was audio articles. Like, you can have it read to you. I sat there and read these things, guys. I read them, and then as I was getting it all queued up this morning, right, for you guys, I was like, what is that? I was like, are you serious right now? I could have just listened to that? Holy. Anyways, I digress. But yeah, Criminal Med, as I was, reading this stuff, it was blowing me away. And I was like, oh, that's right. All the others, everything started clicking. Everything started clicking as I was hearing the information. So it wasn't like I was hearing and I was like, no, it has to be a Murdaugh. I was like, damn, that makes sense. Damn, that makes sense. Oh my Lord, that makes sense. 4-wheel drive. My bad, guys. Let's keep going.
PDF, back in March. Shortly thereafter, we first reported on Wilson and Connolly's shared status as persons of interest in connection with the Smith case. Both Wilson and Connolly lived in the area near where Stephen Smith's body was found, and as we noted back in March, information obtained by SLED investigators has reportedly drawn a sharper focus on them as potential suspects. The following month, we published another detailed report in which it was noted one of these two primary suspects attempted to manufacture an alibi regarding their whereabouts on the evening Smith was murdered, which is obviously a major red flag. According to our sources, grand jurors have since been presented with evidence indicating additional deception on the part of one of the primary suspects regarding the truck mirror theory. Once again, our sources declined to discuss the specific evidence or the alleged deception, however they indicated one of the suspects had been caught in another lie. Does this mean we are moving closer to criminal charges in connection with Smith's death? Not necessarily. Grand jury investigations take time, one of our sources cautioned. Also, it is important to remember that while this investigation appears to be moving in a very specific direction, there is still no guarantee criminal charges will be filed against any of the primary suspects. And assuming criminal charges are filed, anyone charged would be considered innocent until proven guilty by our criminal justice system, or until such time as they may wish to enter some form of allocution in connection with a plea agreement with prosecutors related to any of the charges that may be filed against them.
Yo, so check it out, guys. Like, man, this is crazy. So it was like all this information that's coming out lines up with things that were said at the very beginning of things, right? My Lord, not what Criminal Med just said too. Like, that totally makes sense. Criminal Med says, I believe he was so harassed that he didn't buy gas, and that's why he ran out of gas. That makes sense. That makes complete sense. And like I said, that all jives with rumors, that were going around at the time. But like Criminal Med said earlier in the live too, is like once the whole Murdaugh situation started popping off, everybody forgot about all the rumors, right? Besides, they only thought about the rumors that involved the Murdaughs. Everything else was just thrown to the side. This is insane, man. This is so crazy. All right, man. Yeah. So I'm still shocked, guys. I'm pretty shocked. It's believable. It's all believable. Everything I'm hearing, I believe it. It just, damn. You know what I mean? Damn. So here's the next article I got. This one's from yesterday. Right. Yeah, yesterday. This is yesterday's article. So I was gonna share all this yesterday, but like I said, life. Let me check, make sure I'm caught up in chat. All right. Let me see. All right. Well, looks like 100% of the chat is excited about having a resident attorney, pop up for us and give some legal opinions on cases and stuff. And what's also nice too is your boy has somebody looking out for him on that legal end. Make sure I'm not up here saying some stuff that I shouldn't be saying. You know what I mean? So that's also a plus as well. Yes. Let's see. Let me see. The father literally told the whole story. The father of Patrick. Okay. Yo, thanks for telling me I look good. Ah, Bees. I just got off work, so I kind of did get my butt kicked. I haven't got to get a shower yet. I haven't eaten yet. I just came home, got some coffee in me, queued everything up. So yeah, I'm a little tired, but thanks for letting me know I look good. I appreciate you. All right, guys. All right. Let me cue this next one up for us. Okay. Now, let's get into it. Let me adjust the speed a little bit because these articles kind of lag a little bit with the speed. All right, cool. All right, guys, give me some ones. Give me some ones in chat if you can hear it.
What if two things were true at once? What if a vehicular hit and run was also a homicide? And what if that hit and run happened in such a way as to leave little to no evidence a vehicle had actually been involved?
All right, you guys hear that? Let's get some ones. So one, unos. Thank you, Sassy. Thank you, Bees. Thank you, Donna Clark. I see you, ladies. Appreciate you. Kathy Blanks. Hey, you're welcome. And like, I'll tell you straight up too. Like, you guys know I do a lot of research. Obviously, before I had mods and I had I was doing lives. I did a lot of research. But big shout out to Criminal Med, to Tennessee Sweetheart, Donna Clark. I mean, there's a lot of y'all that are constantly sleuthing and sending me articles to make sure that I'm either aware of it or you want me to cover something. A lot of times I'm already aware of some of the stuff you guys send me, but dude, I appreciate you guys. That's what this community is about right there. It's like getting the information out. I appreciate it. All right, I'm seeing all the ones. Miss Madonna, good to see you. Thanks for being here. But let's keep rolling with this info, guys. We got this article to get through, and then another video. And your boy's got to go get some stuff done, and then come back for another live before Turtle Island. Vote for me, Turtle Island, baby.
Could these anomalies have sent investigators on an 8-year wild goose chase? What if the answers, which seemed so elusive all along, were, in the end, right in front of us, frustratingly obvious? And what if all the conspiracy theories wrapped around the notion of deeper, more sinister forces being at work were all just figments of overly fertile imaginations? 8 years after the body of Stephen Smith was found in the middle of Sandy Run Road in rural Hampton County, South Carolina, sources say the statewide grand jury investigating his death is focusing on causes and suspects that have been tied to the narrative from the beginning. The latest developments, which our founding editor Will Folks exclusively reported on last week, seem to bring the story full circle, leaving many to wonder why it took investigators so long to ultimately arrive back at the start of the case file.
Now, my question is, all right, so now it's not Buster, right? Now we know it's probably these two gentlemen that were harassing Stephen at the beginning of the night or the evening. I still question if he was unalive right where he was found, okay? Was he hit with the mirror or was he hit with something else? Because you would think if he even hit with the truck mirror, right? That should have shattered the mirror. That should have broke something off. You know what I mean? So, man, why wasn't there any debris there? If it was these dudes and they hit him, what did they hit him with? Was it the truck, which is a weapon, or did they use something else? Like the bat or a piece of wood, just something hard. You know what I mean? Man, I got questions. And then now, think about all the stuff that came out with this being reopened and then with this being relabeled a homicide. Yo, what did they think? I want to know I got so many questions, guys.
While there has been much speculation about the alleged involvement of the powerful Murdaugh family in Smith's death, it now appears as though most of those theories were baseless. However, the small-town gossip about the Murdaughs, the involvement of high-powered attorneys, one of the suspects' familial ties to law enforcement and the rarity of the crime have all contributed to the complications clouding this investigation. Prevailing bad info. It is an undeniable fact Buster Murdaugh's name appeared multiple times in the investigative report into Smith's death, which was prepared by the SC Highway Patrol, SCHP. But the origins of this story, the reasons for its prevalence, and the certainty with which it sustained itself over the years may never be fully understood. We do know there was another Murdaugh who had business with individuals on both sides of the investigation. Perhaps his involvement in the inquiry, which could wind up being decisive, created a cloud of suspicion. Randolph Murdaugh IV was representing Stephen's father, Joel Smith, in a workers' compensation case when the tragedy occurred. Within a month, the Hampton attorney was also representing Sean Connolly, one of the two primary suspects in the Smith case, who at the time was a defendant in a civil suit over a motor vehicle accident. At the same time, attorney Corey Fleming, one of convicted killer Alex Murdaugh's top
let me see what Criminal Med's saying here. So they were luring him, and they matched the wound to the mirror side perfect match. Patrick said to his dad that Sean purposely did it. Well, it sounded like that story's pretty damn true with what we're hearing from this is so crazy. My Lord. So then, I got questions. I got more questions.
Co-conspirators on his litany of admitted financial crimes represented Patrick Wilson, the other primary suspect, who was facing 3 assault and battery charges. Those charges were filed against Wilson on April 27, 2015. By February 28, 2018, the solicitor's office had decided not to prosecute him. While Connolly and Wilson both lived near the site where Stephen's body was found, Wilson also lived on property owned by the Gibson family located near Moselle, the Murdaugh family compound. Those who watched trial earlier this year no doubt recall Rogan Gibson. He was one of Paul Murdaugh's closest friends, as well as the intended recipient of the famous kennel video. That clip placed Alex Murdaugh at the scene of the murders of Paul and Maggie Murdaugh mere minutes before they were killed, shredding his alibi and forcing him into the tangled web of lies that was his ultimate undoing. The biggest connection to the family? The fact that agents of the SC State Law Enforcement Division, SLED, reopened the investigation into Smith's death just 2 weeks after the Moselle homicides in June 2021. In announcing that decision, the agency specifically stated it was based on information gathered during the course of the double murder investigation of Maggie and Paul Murdaugh. Proximity and perception.
Angela K, good to see you. Good to see you. Let me catch up back up and chat here, guys. Yes, Donna Clark. I like to bring you all the crazy updates and crazy cases. Come on. That's how we do it here. Definitely crazy, though. It's seriously crazy.
There was certainly real proximity, but never any real evidence tying Buster Murdaugh to Smith's death. And while the confusion surrounding the unsolved crime was certainly understandable, it became profoundly twisted as Alex Murdaugh's empire began to crumble and as doubt and suspicion began to be cast on anyone and everyone in his circle. This was particularly true of the blame placed on Buster Murdaugh, who finally spoke out on the allegations back in March. I have tried my best to ignore the vicious rumors about my involvement in Stephen Smith's tragic death that continue to be published in the media as I grieve over the brutal murders of my mother and brother, Murdaugh said 2.5 weeks following his father's conviction. Before, during, and since my father's trial, I have been targeted and harassed by the media and followers of this story.
So Criminal Med, basically, that's the only connection, is that they just all know each other. They all hunted together. They all baseball, all that stuff. So that's literally the only connection. That's insane. It's so crazy that so many of us in the true crime community for so long have been running around as Buster, it's Buster, it's Buster. And this whole time, it wasn't Buster. What the hell, man? Hey, man. Hey, when I'm wrong, I'll admit it. I was wrong. I was dead ass wrong, guys. I'll definitely admit it. That's what I get for coming into something late and listening to so much of the stuff and buying into it. It's my fault. My bad. Oh, my Lord. They did everything together, including peeing. You had an eye on that, Bees? You verify it? Could you vet that statement, Bees? Oh, man. Properties back to each other. Yep. Crazy, man. So crazy. So I wonder, man. See, I'm still not convinced that first poll that I put up, will there be an arrest made? I'm still not convinced 100% because it's like, damn, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Let's keep going.
This has gone on far too long. These baseless rumors of my involvement with Stephen and his death are false. Why hasn't Murdaugh been formally excluded as a suspect by SLED, which has been investigating Smith's death from?
Are they? See, that's another thing. Criminal Med. I don't live in that state at all, so I don't know what the vibe is there. You know what I mean? I don't know if there's still like a big, resistance to that type of stuff. I'm from California, right? Y'all know how it is out here, man. So I don't know the vibe there. So if that's true, I guess that would make sense on why they did what they did, I guess. I don't know. Doesn't mean it was right. Just means that, I don't know. Makes sense now because it didn't make sense before. But so back then, it's really that way there? That's so crazy. Paul knew it, in your opinion? I think Paul knew about a lot of stuff. I think Buster knew about a lot. I think Buster knows about it. He has to know about it, right? They all know each other. B says she's got eyes everywhere, huh? They called him to join them, in your opinion? Dude, that's a... Do you think they called Paul, or you think they called Buster, or you think they both got a call? If they're so majorly against that lifestyle, those types of people and whatnots. Oh, man, it's so crazy. It's so crazy. All right, let's keep going, guys.
More than 2 years? That's a good question. Buster Murdaugh and his girlfriend Brooklyn White watched the double murder trial of his father Alex Murdaugh at the Colleton County Courthouse in Walterboro, South Carolina, on Monday, February 6, 2023. It is also worth noting Patrick Wilson has ties to law enforcement at the state and local level. He is, in fact, related to some of the very individuals who were involved in the investigation. When Daryl Williams, who was dating Patrick's mother at the time, first reported the involvement of Wilson and Connolly to the authorities, at Randy Murdaugh's recommendation, he did so through a conversation with Hampton police officer Nick Ginn.
Yeah, I think criminal med for me, it's like, I guess I just trip out that's a big deal back there like that, or at least at that point it was, because I graduated 2002, right? So I'm an 80s baby, graduated 2002. And by the time I graduated, like, there was no groups of people that were hating on, if you're gay or lesbian or bi or whatever. There was, like, we all had friends and whatnot. So I guess for me, it trips me out, this whole case, because this whole case has been centered around homosexuality. Like, let's just keep it 100. So for me, I've tripped on that aspect of it in general, because, like I said, I graduated in 2002, and that was not a thing here. So for that to have happened to Stephen when it did, that much farther after I graduated, like, it's really that behind in the times and the ages. I don't know. It's so crazy to think that there's still places like that in America anyways, that people are hated on like that. It's insane to me.
Basically, Daryl called me and he said, look, he said, this is what I was told. He said Patrick came over here to the house. He told me that Sean Connolly was drunk and hit something, Ginn said. He said he went back the next day to see what he had hit, and he saw a lot of police out there. So he talked to one of the cops.
I know criminal med, but like, when I graduated, like, we had friends that were pretty flamboyant too. So that's why I trip on this. One of the things I trip about on this case is like, wow, that really happened at the time, that the year that it happened. It's really that, like, Stone Age back there, that, oh man, that the kids even at that age with this generation are raised to be anti that. It's like, cool. You don't believe in it. It's not your thing. Fine. For whatever reason, you don't agree with it, but to, like, go and bash people for it, to hate on people for it, that shit baffles me for that to be happening in that year, that time.
And then he had left, and then he learned, I guess by media, that somebody had been killed in that same area. That's why the police were there. Ginn went on to tell Duncan he believed Connolly had repaired damage to the mirror of his truck in the aftermath of Smith's death. Supposedly, he had fixed his mirror. He had patched one of the mirrors up on the truck. Ginn.
See, bougie redneck, but see that, I guess that it's weird to me too, because look, I got friends in Louisiana, right? Not just my boy, just not like friends, but like I got like friends that are like well known, like well to do people in Louisiana, and they're dude, there's none of that. Like at least what I've experienced being there, like there is no anti, race or anti, sexuality in any of the people I know down there. So I guess I don't know. It just trips me out, man. It's so weird.
Told Duncan. That mirror is now believed to be what killed Smith. https://www.youtube.com/watch?v=zevtwaoskfq FITS News/YouTube. Jin described Williams as his stepfather, a role very similar to the one he played in the life of Patrick Wilson. In a recorded statement, Jin said Williams was a father figure to Wilson. This information was communicated from Jin to Mitch Altman of SCHP. Altman.
Let me. Yeah, you guys are saying some good stuff. I know. I don't see. That's another thing too. I guess that trips me out is like I always try to get the vibe of the area a crime or a case that we're covering goes down in, right? So I can kind of understand the dynamics of maybe why it happened, the psychology behind it. But I don't know that part of the world, like that part of the states. You know what I mean? Like I've been in Arkansas, I've been to Louisiana. You know what I mean? Like I got family in Oklahoma, so like I know. I don't know, man. I don't know the vibe there. So you're right. You're right. I don't know. Who sent the lawyer to the scene? That's a good question too. That's a good question too, Miss Sassy. Let me see. Bougie says, I hate to say this, but once the older generation dies off, things will get a lot better. Um, yeah. I mean, you have a point there. You do have a point because old ways do die off. Bad things from the old ways die off. But the bad part about that is good things from the old ways die off too. So, you know what I mean? That's kind of the bad part about that when the older generation dies off. But it's also weird to me that the older generation out here in Cali, right, they have a different viewpoint than that same generation does from back there. So it's just strange to me, I guess. Let's see. What else y'all saying? Let's see. Go check it out. I have been coming here for 65 years. The North and the South are incredibly different. And see, that's the thing is like some of you all live back there. So you've lived up North back East and you live down South back East, right? You lived in both places. You've seen the dynamics and the difference. Whereas I'm from Cali. I'm a whole different coast. I'm West Coast. And my experience over, back East, I guess is very limited. I mean, it's only 2 states, so it's very limited, I guess. It's not those deep South, I guess. I mean, damn, Louisiana's pretty deep, though. I don't know. But I get what you're all saying. Let me see what else. You all are saying. Randy showed up right away and offered no charge of it. I know. I still want to know why he did that. Let's see. Right? That's I feel like that's how it is out here in Cali for the most part, unless you're a Karen or something, or whatever male version that is. Like a lot of people out here just don't give a shit what you do. Like just stay off my property. Let me see. All right, cool. I'm caught back up, guys. Let's finish this article so we can get back into this video. Get this lab rocked out.
Incidentally, is related to Patrick Wilson's mother, Sharon Altman Wilson. There is another, seldom discussed element which likely added to the confusion surrounding this case. The nature of this homicide is so statistically rare investigators had little to no experience to guide their conclusions. Consider the fatal, frontal head wound Smith sustained. This 7.25-inch gash was so devastating the coroner initially believed it was the result of a gunshot, specifically a shotgun. This illustrates a key anomaly of this crime scene, the rarity of a pedestrian's head wound being caused by the side mirror of a truck. How much familiarity with such specific wounds would investigators have had at the time they were studying Smith's body? The hallmarks of an injury caused by a shotgun include entry and exit wounds and the residue left by ammunition, all of which were absent in this case. But none of that was apparent until the autopsy performed by Dr. Aaron Presnell. Statistical data. In 2021, Dr. Presnell co-authored an academic paper entitled Non-Firearm-Related Homicides at the Medical University of South Carolina 2013 to 2018. The data provided insight.
That's so crazy, man. Oh my Lord. That's weird that like 2023 there's still issues with that. Like it blows my mind. It blows my mind. It's like I said, like there's a lot of shit I don't believe in, but you do you. As long as you're not affecting me, affecting my children, you do you. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I don't have to answer for you, when I get into them gates. So go ahead and you do you. So it's weird that 2023, there's still places where people are still judged for that. Like, it's baffling.
Into the number and types of cases handled at MUSC, painting an unintentional picture of just how unusual the death of Stephen Smith was statistically. During the 6-year study period, 5,452 forensic autopsies were performed at MUSC, with 793 identified as homicides. Of those, 144 cases were found to be non-firearm related. Of those, only 3 victims were in Stephen's age group, 15 to 20 years of age. Of those 3, only 1 was white. That, of course, was Stephen Smith. Further complicating matters, research on hit-and-run fatalities remains limited, according to a traffic fatality report from AAA.
Right, Miss Donna? Right. That's how it is out here, right? It's like, unless you're living in a really hardcore liberal area where it's like really locked down, like super Karens and stuff, most of California is like, bro, just stay off my property. You do whatever. As long as you ain't affecting me, I don't care. Dude, because we're all out here so struggling with the economy and constantly working and constantly grinding out here. We just don't even have time to care about a lot of stuff, guys. I'll be honest with you. That's how it is out here. Let's see. Criminal Myth says a girl's that down here would not allow her to date him because he was too tanned. Italian. What? That's crazy. What? Too tan? What? Oh my Lord. I would get no dates then, man. I try to stay tan. I'd be staying tan. That's, you know what I mean? That Cherokee takes over and I'll be staying a little golden. I'll be screwed. They'd be like, you know what? Now we're talking about it. Now we're talking about, things I did experience something really strange when I lived in Arkansas. You know what? Now that we're talking about, I'll be 100. I just remembered this. When I was staying in Arkansas, I made really good friends with my stepbrother's best friend, like his childhood best friend. They're older than me, so I became good friends with him. I went my little family, the wife at the time, the kids, we'd go hang out over there and got to become really good friends. Well, they hit me and the wife up one night, and the kid's mom up one night, and they're like, hey, do you guys want to go to Joplin? Right outside of Joplin to a friend's house, having a get together and this and that. Like, they got, it's a nice place. They got a little money, whatever. And we're like, cool, let's go meet new people. We're living back here. Let's go meet some people. So, your boy got that curly hair, you know what I mean? And I was rocking, the beard and stuff. And we went in and everybody's really friendly. Everybody was really nice. And then, dude, I got introduced to this one dude, short, kind of, I don't know, man, he had a weird vibe about him right out the gate. And I get introduced to him, and this dude's like, I already could tell he'd been eyeballing me before I got introduced to him. And they introduce him, and they introduced me to him, and my buddy says my last name, says my first name and my last name. And he's all, are you sure it isn't? And he says my last name and adds a bird to the end, implying that I'm Jewish because I got the curly hair and I'm from California. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I guess I did experience a little bit of, some anti-Semitism when I was back there. But that was like the only incident I can recall. I don't recall anybody saying anything negative. I don't know. It was weird. But four-wheel drive, guys. I just had to relate that.
There is no comprehensive profile to help identify suspects because of the very unpredictable nature of the crime. Also, from a practical standpoint, vehicular homicide is a risky means of trying to commit murder. It is messy and unpredictable.
How can you be tan? What do you mean? How can I be tan? I'll be outside all the time, kind of. But yeah, dude, that was crazy to me when I experienced that one. Let me get you back up chat before we finish the article. The freaking bees! Oh my lord! All right, right. See, I get the tan from the Cherokee myself. Like if I've been inside like for months and I get like white and I go outside, like the white person is for like 24 hours and I look a little red. But after that, it's just like I'm golden after that. Yeah. You guys are too much. Y'all are too much. Coco, good to see you, Miss Coco. You're moving to Carthage in Missouri. It's beautiful there, though. I will say that. Outside of that one douchebag I met that was like being all anti Semite. Besides that guy, I really liked it back there. It was nice. Um, I don't know if I'll tell you guys where I was living in Arkansas. There's this place called Bella Vista, Arkansas. Shit was beautiful, man. So beautiful there. It was like right by the border, the Missouri line. We'd go shop at the Missouri Walmart. You know, I might have done a little bootlegging. I was just playing. No, I didn't. But you know. All right, let me see. Look, Mama, good to see you. Good to see you. All right. Looks like I'm caught back up. Coco says she loves it there. Are you talking about Bella Vista or Missouri? I mean, northern Arkansas, that area is beautiful. Like, I don't care what anybody says. There's like literally that part too. I loved it because you could like throw a stone over your shoulder and there was somewhere to swim. To land in water, and I could like go fish or swim or do whatever. Like it was sweet. I gotta have water, guys. I gotta have water. Steph V, you live in Arkansas? Yeah, I was okay. So I was living in Bella Vista, Arkansas, and then I was having to drive every morning all the way to Springdale for my job. Crazy, dude. And then all the way back. I almost died the first week that I was living back there because it was like a big ass snowstorm, and I'd never driven over frozen bridges. And let's just say, yeah, your boy was wide awake after that experience. Let's see what else y'all is saying. BM, good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see. What else y'all saying? All right, cool. I'm caught back up. Looks like I got y'all. Y'all are just saying your hellos and whatnots now. Let's keep rolling with this article though. Oh, Melinda, good to see you, ma'am. Good to see you. You dropped in real quick, right? Perfect time before I started this article back up.
And death is not certain. Finally, all manner of easily traceable clues are left behind, usually. In 2015, there were 33 hit-and-run fatalities in South Carolina. According to the U.S. Department of Transportation, DOT, statistically only 18% of hit-and-run pedestrian fatalities occur in rural areas. That means in 2015, there were less than 2 rural hit-and-run pedestrian fatalities in the state. Once again, Stephen was the only one. Simply put, this almost never happens. And since the crime is so rare, it's not hard to see law enforcement lacks the investigative experience necessary to solve it. The chances of a young, white man between the ages of 15 and 20 being murdered on a rural road in South Carolina by vehicular hit and run are slim to non-existent.
So, Criminal Med, I know, like, you go to places that are a little bit more multicultural, right? You tend to have that. I don't know, tolerance for other people's cultures, race, religion, all that stuff. You just kind of go with the flow. I've noticed that. But then the only other bad part, though, about societies that are multicultural is sometimes over time you start losing parts of their cultures, the independent cultures, and that does suck. Because I do see that out here in California. We do have that kind of like, we don't give a what you're doing, just do you, but don't mess with me, right? But because we've had so many cultures mixed out here for so long, a lot of our cultures, like once they get a couple generations out from where they're from, they start getting Americanized to the point where it's like there is no, I don't know, they lose their flavor, they lose the flair. The kids stop doing traditional stuff. It sucks, man. But anyways, 4-wheel drive again. Angela K says, I'm a few minutes behind in an Oregon. My grandmother didn't like us because my dad was Cherokee. That's messed up. He didn't like you because y'all were Cherokee? That's, man, I don't even know what to say about that. I don't even know what to say. I come from people that obviously like to mingle, you know what I mean? Because your boy is a mix of all kinds of stuff. So I'm just going to say, I, yeah, I'm gonna leave that one alone. We'll just. All right, guys. I'm caught up. Let's keep going.
Yet this has become, once again, the prevailing theory of what happened to Stephen Smith. Such 1,000,000-to-1 odds create precisely the sort of situation leading to widespread community speculation, a search for answers in a void of information, and all too often the assignment of misplaced blame. Will blame ever be properly placed in this case, though? That remains to be seen. While sources close to the grand jury process have made it clear Connolly,
I gotta go to my son's football game at 5. Don't freak out. I'll catch it when I get back. Or TPP could schedule his live a little later. Well, I can't schedule the second live very, very, too much later because we're supposed to have Turtle Island tonight. You know what I mean? So I get done with this one. I'm gonna take a quick shower, feed my face, and I'm gonna jump back up here to do the Maya trial. So if you miss it, I understand. At a football game, I understand. It is what it is.
And Wilson are the primary suspects in the investigation, there is no guarantee
Miss Darcy, good to see you.
they or anyone will ever be charged criminally. I hope the grand jury is getting the right witnesses in front of them, a source tracking the case told our media outlet over the weekend. The question becomes whether they can either get someone to flip and tell the truth, or somehow find some corroborating evidence tying Connolly and Wilson to scene. That could be tough, nearly 8.5 years later. It could actually be much more difficult than tough. It could be impossible. But at least investigators know where to look now, and where not to look.
All right, guys. That's it for that article. Now let's queue up this last video. And this is basically going to talk about some of the same information, but a little bit, more refined. And then Fitz News is basically going to do what a lot of people should be doing right now, and that's walking back what we thought and the things that we said about Buster. We have to walk it back now. We have to apologize for it now. So anybody that's not apologizing for it, that's a bad look, man. It's a bad look. Boy might have known something, heard something in the wind, heard something from a little bird, but he wasn't the one. It looks like he wasn't the one, guys. Huntress, good to see you. I gotta go live today to some point. Oh, I just don't know when. Dang, well, just go live. Maybe I'll have to come over there. We'll see. I don't know. See what's going on. But yeah, Huntress, you definitely need to get a live in, girl. I ain't seen you live in a minute. And especially once you get Blue back, like you gotta go live and like show them off for everybody, for all the people that threw down them hardcore prayers. Let me see what else I'm missing. All right, cool. All right, guys, I got this last video queued up. Let's go ahead. Yeah, Huntress, like if you're live before I go live, I'll probably come over. I don't know, maybe I'll go panel with you or something before we could talk about whatever. But yeah, no pressure. We'll see how it works out. Like I said, I got to get a shower after this and eat. Let's see what else y'all are saying. Okay. Let's get into this one, guys. Give me some ones in chat. Ones in chat if you can hear it.
I can't think of a case
that
this media outlet has covered, which has taken more.
Wait for you guys. Make sure you guys can hear it. All right, cool. Thank you. Bees, Steffi, Lil Mama, Donna Clark. I see the ones, ladies. I appreciate you, Sassy. Thank you. Let's keep rolling on this. Real quick, guys. Man, how many of you all are mind blown that it's not Buster? I'm still having a hard time processing it. And like I said, my apologies to Buster. I'm walking it back. I'm doing what you're supposed to do when you're wrong. But damn, guys, I can't believe it. Like, shit's crazy, man. So crazy. Bougie Redneck, I see the one. Thank you. All right. You'll go live when I'm done. Update my kids be wild. All right. Hey, that's what kids do. They be wild. I mean, dude, if your kids were all docile and stuff, I'd be worried. I'd be like, what is she giving them? Step B, you're completely shocked. Like I said, I started reading the email articles and all this, and I was like, oh my Lord, I have to apologize. Holy crap. Hey, like I said, man, everybody can be wrong. Let's keep going, guys.
Twists and turns than the story of Stephen Smith. If you recall, this is a story of a Hampton County, South Carolina teenager whose body was found in the middle of a rural road early morning hours on July 8, 2015. From that very first moment, nothing about this story has made any sense.
Fair use, stop. We have to interject here for something very important. All right, very important, and that's vote for your boy tonight. Turtle Island, come on, get me on that bad boy. Help your boy out. Anyways, all right, let's keep going.
There have been all sorts of allegations tied to it.
Yeah, Miss Darcy. So Buster didn't do it. Who did it? In the last articles, they gave the names of the individuals they think that did this,
including allegations that linked this crime allegedly to the family of Alec Murdaugh, again, the convicted killer of his wife and younger son, whose web of criminality has created an international industry. But the Murdaugh story and its proximity to the death of Stephen Smith has never been clearly established. Again, there's been a lot of rumors, a lot of conjecture, a lot of allegations against individuals, including Buster Murdaugh, the surviving son of Alec Murdaugh. But there's been very little in the way of fact, very little in the way of a theory of what actually happened to Stephen Smith as he walked down Sandy Run Road those early morning hours prior to his violent death. But over the last few months, we've started to gain that clarity. And it started at the end of the Murdaugh trial when...
Dude, now I know why Sandy Smith, her attorney, and then the other lady I can't remember the other lady's name that was in the last interview that we watched, that we covered, guys. Now I understand why they were like, no, we're not blaming the Murdaughs. Apologize, guys. Ooh, I thought it was out of fear. But no, it wasn't out of fear. They knew this information. Crazy.
Agents and investigators with the South Carolina State Law Enforcement Division began focusing their attention more squarely on Stephen Smith's case. It also began when prosecutors in the Office of Attorney General Alan Wilson began utilizing the statewide grand jury to investigate Smith's death even further. Now, what were they looking for?
Oh, there we go. Mandy. That was her name? Mandy? Okay. I couldn't remember her name. I'm sorry. Just too many names. And then when you got a bunch of kids, dude, remembering names on top of that, and then you got ADHD and stuff. I mean, dude, names get hard. I'm surprised I can remember most of the stuff that I remember, but I gave up on names.
What have they found? Well, a lot of it is very familiar to our audience because beginning in March of this year, after the Murdaugh trial, we started a detailed series of reports where we laid out all the evidence in this case. Because that's what you need to do in controversial cases like this, in cases without a resolution. You want to lay everything on the table. You want to start from the beginning. You want to turn the whole puzzle box upside down, if you will. That's a term our researcher Callie Lyons loves to use. But I'm using it in this case because it fits. But that's what we did.
Criminal Med, and anybody else that has an opinion on this. If Buster wasn't involved, if a Murdaugh wasn't involved, who set into play the whole issue with like the investigation not being done properly from the beginning, right? Because we thought like it was Buster, right? So we thought the Murdaughs like interjected themselves in this investigation and stopped it from being, properly investigated, right? So like, why didn't it get investigated properly in the beginning if it wasn't a Murdaugh situation? That's my question. If it wasn't a Murdaugh that did this, it was somebody else. How much power do those individuals have? And if they don't have power like the Murdaughs, why wasn't it investigated properly? Was it because literally the whole area has the same mentality towards homosexuality? Is that why? Is it like literally it didn't even matter who did this crime? They weren't going to investigate it at all based on the fact that Stephen Smith was a gay kid. Like, is that the reason? Is it literally not even a cover up because of like, something deeper? It's like literally they were just like, oh no, it doesn't even matter who unalived this kid. He was gay, so we're not even going to really investigate it. Is that what it is? Man, I got questions.
In this case, we dumped everything on the table for everyone to see. The letter from Stephen Smith's mom, Sandy Smith, which first pointed the focus.
Yo, girl, all kids are wild no matter what, man. No matter what. Let me see what else he's saying in chat. TPP needs to figure out how to make all the videos have his voice instead. That's a good idea. I like that idea. I'm gonna have to talk to my boy, see if he knows any tech on that. BM, thank you for dropping that. Appreciate it. Yes. Let me see. Good question. What else y'all saying? All right. Let's see. Criminal said, in my opinion, Paul was alerted after the gas station incident. Decided not to join them, but when they looked at Paul's devices, they saw that connected. Yo, damn, Criminal Man, you just blew my mind with that one. Holy shit. You've really put some time into this Murdaugh and Stephen Smith stuff, ma'am. You have. That's impressive. I like that. I like that a lot. That makes sense. That would explain why when the investigation into the unaliving happened, it opened the Stephen Smith case back up. That would literally make sense. Besides the fact that they all know each other, they all hunt together, they all play ball together, sports together, they all hate on homosexuals together. But like the direct link is right there. If that's the case, if your speculation is correct, which I think you may be correct there. I like that. I like that a lot. No. I like that a lot, Criminal Man. I like that a lot. That all makes sense. That makes more sense than a lot of different speculations I had rolling through my head. Yeah, I like it. Dang, man, that is so crazy. All right, let's keep going, guys. That blew my mind.
At the Murdaugh family. The initial law enforcement interviews, we published those. The famous MATE report, the multi-accident interdisciplinary report, which formed the basis of the Stephen Smith investigation. We published that entire document. We sat down with Steve Peterson, a private investigator who dug deeper into this case than any.
All right, guys, I'm going to drop another poll for you guys. I'm going to keep this playing, but I'm going to work out another poll. I'm curious to see where you guys are at with this now that we got the information that we've gotten.
Anyone. And we put all these files, all these interviews, all these recordings on the table on fitsnews.com. You can still go there, the Stephen Smith case files. But as we did that over the last few months, a picture of what happened is finally starting to emerge. Our sources close to the grand jury have confirmed that Smith, while walking toward his home on Sandy Run Road, was struck quickly and violently by a fast-moving object on the front of his face at an angle, apparently as he was attempting to evade being struck. Almost instantaneously, there was a second.
evade. So this boy was running for his damn life. So that speculation criminal med made earlier about he was being harassed so bad that he ran out of gas, that he didn't get gas, and he ended up running out of gas. And then he's walking and sounds like he's chased down by the vehicle. My Lord, this is insane. Absolutely insane. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Can impact the back of his head on the pavement of Sandy Run Road. Literally within a second, these two seismic impacts. Smith died at the scene where he fell. He died immediately. All the forensic evidence, which has now been reviewed and thoroughly re-reviewed, points to this conclusion. Smith was not killed somewhere else and dragged to the scene. His body was not dumped in the middle of the road. He died where he fell. Now, what was the fast-moving object? As I've stated from the beginning, this investigation has been clouded by the crime scene, which is a study in contradictions. There was no vehicle debris. There were no skid marks. There was nothing at the scene that seasoned Highway Patrol investigators found to be consistent with a vehicular strike. And the pathologist who did the initial autopsy on Smith said that the only reason she concluded it was a vehicle strike was that he was in the middle of the road. Other than that, nothing to suggest a vehicle strike. In fact, Smith's body being in the middle of the road seemed to suggest that it wasn't, because again, if a car strikes someone, typically they tumble, they roll over and over off the side of the road. Their shoes are typically knocked off of them. Smith's loose-fitting shoes were on him when his body was found. Nothing about this crime scene indicated a vehicular strike, and yet, again, all the forensic evidence, including the flow of blood from Smith's body as he died on that scene, clearly indicated that he died again right where he fell. So how do you balance these apparent contradictions? But we're starting now to put that narrative together as we look at the evidence that we've released again on Fitz News.
Guys, I'm just, it's hard. It's hard to process all this. It really is, man, because, you know, like I said, I was late to the Stephen Smith case, but when I started learning about it, I was like, dang, I got kind of connected to it. And then watching the whole Murdaugh trial and just learning about that whole family, man, I was so sold on it being Buster or maybe even Paul. But man, it's going to take a while for this all sink in. It really is. It's blowing my mind.
Interviews that pointed to the theory of the truck mirror. We've talked about this. This is no secret. There's something that's been out there. It's been in the case files for some time. But there's never been anything that has tied it to the current investigation, and in particular, to the evidence and the testimony that grand jurors are hearing related to this case. Well, now there is. This past week, we exclusively reported on FitzNews.com that grand jurors were hearing testimony related to this truck mirror theory, which holds that it was an extended mirror from a truck driven by one of two primary suspects, and we're going to talk about that in just a second, which created the 7.
Was it a Dodge? Was it like a Dodge truck with them big ass freaking mirrors they have?
0.25-inch massive laceration on Smith's head. That was the first impact, which then created that second instantaneous impact with the back of his head on the pavement. Now, what specifically that evidence is at this point, we don't know. We do know that, as we reported this week, one of those two primary suspects in this case allegedly indicated deception regarding some component of this truck mirror theory. We also know that Mark Bickart, who described himself as Stephen's boyfriend at the time he died, spoke of Smith allegedly being accosted by two, quote, rednecks at a convenience store in the hours before his death. Bickart recalled hearing mud tires in the background of his final conversation with Stephen Smith just moments before he died. Could that have been the truck that struck Smith with?
Bro, what? This is... Yep, yep. That's all I'm saying. That's all I got on this one right now. Is just my mind is just blown, dude. Blown.
That mirror. And could the fact that it was a mirror explain the fact that there was no vehicular debris? Could it explain the fact that there were no evidence of any kind on that scene indicating a vehicle strike? According to our sources inside the grand jury, the answer to those questions are yes. According to our sources inside the grand jury, they are hearing evidence related not only to the truck mirror theory, but allegations of deception amongst the two primary suspects related to that truck mirror.
So that's basically straight up telling you red flag, red flag. They're making alibis. They're lying on details. This sounds like these dudes did it. Like you wouldn't lie about, you would be deceptive about something that you didn't do, right? That's a given. Crazy.
Now, what is that evidence? We don't know. We do know from our previous reporting that these two individuals have been linked to, again, allegations of deception related to their stories about where they were on the night.
Beast, can we believe all this, or is it a PD paid situation? Is it more corruption? Well, this would be like reverse corruption because, like, I don't know. It's gonna tie a lot of people to it. I guarantee we're gonna hear a lot of names come out, a lot of connections. So I don't know. I don't know how this one would be corruption on this particular thing. Now, corruption on covering it up, yes, but corruption putting these two at blame, I don't think so. I think these sound like these boys did it.
Stephen Smith was killed, but which suspect? Which truck? Again, these are things we don't know yet because, again, the specific evidence that's being presented to this grand jury, folks will not release it to us, and I understand that it would technically be a crime to release some of that information, some of that evidence. So I totally understand that. But we are getting closer on this story of what happened to Stephen Smith. We're starting to zero in on, again, those two individuals at the heart of this case. And I want to raise this point. At our news outlet, we are very careful about the terms that we use. 48 hours after the graphic double homicide of which Alec Murdaugh has been convicted of, our news outlet referred to him as a person of interest in that investigation. I took a lot of grief for that story because at the time, the narrative was that Alec Murdaugh was a grieving father who just lost his younger son, a grieving husband who just lost his wife. Obviously, that is not the narrative. Now the narrative is that Alec Murdaugh is perhaps one of the most infamous family annihilators in American criminal history. But at the time we reported that, no one knew. So we're very careful. But according to our sources close to that grand jury investigation, the two individuals, Sean Connolly, Patrick Wilson, both 26, both.
There's your individuals, guys. For everybody that wanted to know the names of the potential defendants, suspects, whatever we're going to call them at this given time, there you go. There you go. Part of the good old boys club, being raised right under the good old boys club. Damn. All right, guys. Well, there you go. Let's keep going.
With of Brunson, South Carolina, are primary suspects in the death of Stephen Smith, in the murder of Stephen Smith. Now, where does the story go from here? Here's the troubling part. As if this entire story wasn't already sufficiently troubling, that it's taken 8 years to get us basically back to square one, back to the initial theories. Where do we go from here in this story? We could end up with a grand jury that doesn't charge. Do I expect that to happen? I don't know. But I've been cautioned from the beginning of this story. First in little.
Let's see. Were they paid to do it? From reports, it doesn't sound like they were paid to do it. It sounds like they were just hating on a gay kid. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like the only connections to the Murdaughs is they just know each other. But I do like Criminal Med's idea that the link came from maybe a phone call from those boys to one of the Murdaugh boys. That's what might have linked it all up. But crazy. I don't think it was paid though.
Whispers many months ago into more vocal statements the closer we've gotten to this grand jury process.
So do you guys think like the Murdaughs showed up because maybe they were told like by their kids, hey, my friends got into a little situation, so the Murdaughs interjected themselves into it to kind of take over, to help cover up for these boys, seeing that these boys know their boys and all the families know each other. And then obviously with the Murdaughs and their connections with law enforcement, maybe that is why they put their nose into it to, make sure the investigation didn't go towards these two boys that did it.
That there may never be sufficient evidence to issue charges in connection with this case. I hope that's not true. I hope that's not true because, again, in this case, clearly.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys all know that criminal med is literally down in that stuff, like literally researching it down there, like boots on the ground style. Like, so that's why the information that we're getting is pretty damn on point. Like yeah, she's went and vetted some of this stuff too for us.
Really. The family of Stephen Smith deserves justice. But I also want to point out something else here. That's
the thing too, Bees, is like now it's coming out like Buster being gay was never, nobody ever had receipts on that. There was no proof of that. It was just always a rumor. So it's just, I don't know.
Important. The mirror theory, the truck mirror theory. This has been information that's been available to attorneys for the Smith family.
Yeah, so the truck mirror theory, those boys harassing Stephen at the gas station, like a whole bunch of this stuff's been known since the very beginning, but literally it was all just pushed to the side when the Murdaugh, theory or conspiracy theory popped off with Buster being gay
for many months. Hasn't been released. And again, perhaps that's due to grand jury secrecy, and I respect that. But a lot of the folks who have been hyper-focused on this case and hyper-focused on it being Buster Murdaugh responsible have not been quick to get the real truth into the public bloodstream. And that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate because in this job, you've got to follow the facts where they take you. You've got to follow the narrative where it leads, not where you want it to.
Bro, he ain't lying either, because there's no... After all the coverage I've done with this and the way that I felt about this case, when I got all this information, I was like, fuck, are you serious right now? I gotta get on a live and basically walk back everything that I thought in this case. Everything. I was like, I have to. I literally have to. It's irresponsible if I don't go do a live, give everybody this new information, and be like, dude, I'm sorry, Buster. My bad. I was wrong. Damn. So I like that Fitz News is doing this, man, that like staying on point and like being accountable.
Lead. Following a story where you want it to lead isn't journalism, people. And it sure as hell isn't truth.
Preach.
Following the story where it leads takes the courage to admit that you're wrong.
Preach.
And certainly if you go back and look at our coverage over the last several years that we've been covering this, there's probably a lot that we got wrong. But you got to be willing to admit that.
100.
And not only admit it, you've got to be willing to.
Pat Gaines, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Missed you.
Accept those uncomfortable realities when they present themselves. That's what we will always do at this media outlet. And I want to also be clear about one other thing. The speculation surrounding the Murdaugh family and their ties to this case did not appear in a vacuum. It was not fabricated or conjured out of nothing. There were extensive Murdaugh connections to this case. And I'm not just talking about the fact that there were court cases linked to these two prime suspects, Connolly and Wilson, involving Murdaugh lawyers, or the fact that Murdaugh attorney Corey Fleming, who's been implicated in so many of Alec Murdaugh's scams, who's pleaded guilty to his involvement in those scams, was mixed up in this from the beginning.
Let me catch this comment real quick by Criminal Med. Criminal Med, Stephen definitely tutored Buster, and these kids were known to call Stephen the F slur. In fact, when he asked, Bus said, No, I'd never bother with that F slur. So that's where the whole rumor probably came around, is if Steven actually did tutor Buster, then I could see some of the kids, in that community being the way that community is, obviously making up a little, like, oh man, Buster was, with all, I could see that type of thing being, happening. So yeah, and that's what we need to know, Bees. We need to know exactly the involvement, right? Because some Murdaugh lawyers have helped those kids in the past, or connections to those kids. So there's a pretty good chance that, yeah, maybe from the very jump, the Murdaughs were helping cover up for these two kids. But it wasn't a Murdaugh child that did it. It was some other kids that did it. That's the crazy part. I don't know, man. This is insane.
But why? The initial theory was that it was a cover-up, according to some, to protect Buster. But now it appears that is completely false.
Corey just asked for probation. When he asked for probation. My bad. I read that wrong.
But was there involvement there for another reason? Did Stephen Smith know?
Darzilla, good to see you. Good to see you. It's all right. Replay gang. It's cool. It's cool. You could replay it.
Other things perhaps about the Murdaugh family that we don't know. But we do know that initial theory put forward that Buster Murdaugh was somehow involved, that there was some relationship between him and Stephen. And maybe there was, maybe there wasn't. But the fact that Buster Murdaugh has not been excluded as a suspect in this case, I find a little disappointing. Because he clearly didn't do it, folks. Clearly didn't do it. And there are a lot of folks that at this point owe Buster Murdaugh an apology. He may be a lot of things, but the murderer of Stephen Smith, he was not and is not. Cases like this are emotional, folks. They take you in a lot of different directions. And a lot of times the thing you think you've put together, I'll go back to Callie's puzzle metaphor again. The puzzle you think you've got to put together, you realize you've got to turn it completely around. This story has been a puzzle that's flipped on a lot of people.
Bro, I love how he's doing it all calm, like, because I'm over here just tripping hell out. I've already been sitting on this information for a couple days now. I don't even know, man. I don't even know. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat, though. Okay, I'm caught up. Looks like I'm caught up. But much love, y'all. Much love, you all, for smashing those likes, smashing that share. Couple new subscribers last couple days. Well, I mean, things are looking good. But real quick, before I forget, I want to give you guys an update. Let me give you all an update before I forget, because you know how I get when I start saying the goodbye, the 30-minute goodbye, I'll be forgetting stuff. So let me give you guys an update real quick. Okay, so as of right now, we're at 2,733 public watch hours towards our 3,000 watch hours that we need. We're right there, guys. We're freaking there. I'm thinking by the weekend, memberships are going to be opened up, guys. And I'm freaking excited. I'm so excited. Moto Mom, good to see you. Good to see you. And let's go ahead. We'll just, we'll get into this part too. Turtle Island tonight, guys. Please, if you could show up, call. I'm not asking you guys to do monetary votes. I'm not but if enough of y'all could show up and just call in for free, I think we got it. I think we got it, guys. There's a lot of us. Let me see. All right, cool. I'll shut up for now. We'll do the rest of the channel stuff at the end.
But one thing I can say about this news outlet is we will have the courage to show you exactly what that puzzle is revealing, no matter what. You can count on that from us because, again, that is what journalism is. It is following the story and the truth where it goes, not where you want it to go. And on the story of Stephen Smith, we've followed it from the beginning. We're going to follow it through to the end. And hopefully that will end in criminal indictments for those responsible for the death of this young man. And hopefully that will end in justice for him, for his family, for all those who loved and cared for a young man whose life was tragically cut short. That's the goal, and we need to pursue it again.
All right, so that's it. He's gonna get into some other news after that. Let me catch up in chat real quick. You're gonna be on the island. I like how you think, Darzilla. I like how you think. I like positivity. Viking, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. No worries on being late. You know, that's what the replay is all about. That's why I don't delete my lives. I like for everybody to get a chance. All right. Yeah, I think the best ones to play are like the long lives. Those are probably the best for watch hours. So you don't have to like keep re-clicking on stuff. You just like run like a 7-hour live or 4-hour live and it racks up fast. Let's see. I was meaning to ask, was there any broken glass on the road from no, that's the thing. From the mirror, Miss Pat, they never said anything about debris. That was part of what was baffling about the situation. But if it was like a metal encased mirror, like one of the ones that are actually metal, not this weak ass plastic stuff, it could have did the job and been fine without broken mirror. Yeah, there you go. There's the answer. Criminal Meds got that down south info. That makes sense. No, the mirror was only cracked but stayed. No debris. Yeah, Pat Gaines, if what Criminal Med's saying and everything she's been reporting from down there has been on point. So if it only cracked, it would be no debris. All right. Okay, guys. So that is everything that I have for us to cover at the moment with the Stephen Smith case. As more information comes out, we're going to be covering it. I'm praying that there's indictments and convictions on this. I really hope that somehow they can do this. They can get actual justice for them. I'm scared that they're not going to be able to, but I'm praying they do. All right, guys, let's see. All right, it's a white metal frame mirror. Yep, that's what I was thinking. Big ass metal truck mirror. Not none of these new school weak ones. Still had on the shoes. Yep. I mean, but that's the thing. If he was only hit by the mirror guards, it wouldn't be like getting hit by a full vehicle, right? Like getting hit by a full vehicle, that shit gonna knock you out your shoes for sure. But if you're just getting clipped in the head, like that's not gonna knock you out of your shoes. So the shoes being on, that makes sense now. That makes sense. You've never heard of the Stephen Smith case? Oh my lord. Well, this live is kind of like a big deal right now because everything we thought about this case was wrong. A lot of us were wrong. A lot of us. And I'm not just saying like subscribers, I'm saying like content creators. A lot of us were wrong. Yep, it's not plastic. Shoes on and tied. So that definitely sounds legit. Like everything we're hearing now, all this new information, it checks out. It literally checks out with the things that we did know that we were all like, why? How? He must have been staged. His shoes were still on. No, dude, like, all this new information, it explains all that stuff. I'm tripping. But let's see. Let's go ahead and pop that up. Let's pop this up. But yeah, guys, something else, man. Something else. Probably gonna take me another like 24 to 48 hours to really process. This is big. It really is. It's gonna take me a while. Yeah, Viking, check it out. Definitely check it out. But that's all I got for us, guys. I need to get off here. I need to get a shower. I need to eat something. And then, like I said, I already have the next show lined up. We're going to cover, Maya. We're going to get into that. But that being said, let me go ahead and do my 30-minute goodbye to y'all, and we'll get it wrapped up, and then I'll be back in, an hour or so. But let me give a huge shout out and thanks to all the people that have donated so far this month. We have Sassy7, Darzilla, Criminal Med, Jeannie Ange, and Miss Darcy. I think I got you all. Appreciate y'all for donating. Y'all know where it's going. Much love. I appreciate you. And hopefully everybody, that follows appreciates you too, because you guys are helping keeping the show running smooth. Because without it, like I said, the StreamYard don't happen, the YouTube Premium don't happen, the Canva, all the other stuff I use to keep it running don't happen. And then if you donate, you're new here, if you donate, make sure you leave your name, your screen name, so I can give you love and post you on the donation wall for every month. And then if you want to leave me a note, let me know what you think about the show. Appreciate it. And I'll read it too if you want to leave me a note. What other channel stuff that we need to cover? I think that's it. But all the links to my socials, links to where you can donate, or my email, that's on the channel description and also in the video description. So hit your boy up. If you have a case you want me to cover, you have some information you want to shoot me, hit me up. Let me know. Join the big list of people that are doing it. Like, there's a lot of people that are following that are doing it now. So get at me. Other than that, guys, Turtle Island tonight, and I'll be back in just a little bit. So love y'all. Hope you're having a beautiful Monday. But it's that time. It's your boy, the Real Piscine Predator, aka TPP, baby. And until next video or next live, I'm out, y'all. Much love. Peace.